Hi there, Selective Collective. This is Kim here to give you a reading. This is going to be our next 3 days for the Selective Collective. The reason I'm doing it like that is because, man, I don't know. I have been keeping up with Stefan Burns, you know, our geophysicist that's very widely known for being pretty accurate when it comes to all things concerning solar flares and comets and meteorite showers. I'm telling you, a little bit of everything is happening. Even he said it was almost like too much, not, you know, so much that he wouldn't be able to maybe even talk about it all. So we have so many things affecting our bodies right now. I've been going through just it feels like it's a nervous system reset that like, you know, when you I don't know, when you restart anything, there's like usually some steps to get it back into working order. You know, like if you completely factory reset a phone, you have some steps, or a computer, or even if you restore a car, you know, you got to take it all apart. And if you do it right, you'll take every single piece apart and redo it. So that's what it feels like in my body, that my organs are redoing things. It feels very electrical and intense this time. And so I kind of figured it would be anyway with what's been going on. So I have Carl Jung's Major Arcana to help us out with our individual processes that are going on. And I have this Akashic Soul Echo Oracle cards. Been a while. This was a gift to the channel. You know who you are if you're watching this. Thank you. And we're going to use it for the collective because I think it would pair with Carl Jung perfectly, actually. And then we'll clear the slate, and the people that want to stick around to speak with our alien friends or our channel information from entities. Okay, it can be all different kinds. I have the Martian Oracle deck, and it's really, isn't it a cool deck? It has the green on the side. I've never seen a deck with the green. I have seen different colors, but not green, and I love that color green. And we'll pair it with the Cosmos Oracle. So, and we'll also use the Oracle of Genetic Gifts, but I think it would go along better with the alien part. So, let's go ahead and get into this. Spirit guides, angels, if you can guide me to their messages, therefore their most high. Let's light some Palo Santo. And I want to say a big shout of love and gratitude from my heart to you for the people who have been helping out with the private readings. It's not really the side business, it's really the main business that keeps the channel going, so I can keep out current information for you all. And so I'd advertised, and you all really came through. So thank you. Appreciate you. And yeah, I just want to say that the information's in the description box, but really it's just, I want to say thank you. I'm done with all of them except for one. And you would know who you are if you're the one. Then you're my only one left. So I've been very busy. Very busy. As my body's doing this weird reset thing, I don't know, it's energetic. I'm positive of it. I have the devil on the bottom. We'll go ahead and read it, though. The devil. People will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own souls. You know, I can actually, I don't know. I know that's Carl Jung, so it's still awesome the way he said it, but I would change it to shadows. Our own shadow. Because it's kind of like the devil archetype energy. I mean, somewhat. But it represents bondage, materialism, and the shadow self. Yeah, okay, it does say the shadow self. And the shadow self, reflecting Jung's observation on the lengths people avoid to go. They avoid to self-confront. Okay, yeah. They still, and sometimes this card is also about indulging in things, being tempted by earthly things that can help you with escapism. Escapism, in its sense, is its own prison. It feels freeing, like that's the point of it, but it's an illusion. So it's related to the devil energy. And anybody that knows anything about addictions and vices will tell you it's an illusion. It's actually, it puts people in bondage. So it's a very pretty devil energy. I mean, I seriously see a little cat here, which there is one cat I live with that could be considered a little devilish. Well, I call her Spicy, but can you see that? Sorry, can you see that very well? I'm sorry. There you go. The sun's underneath that. Where'd the candle go? What's up with the candle right now? Strength. Death. And the High Priestess. Ooh. Well, what an interesting combination, isn't it? I can't tell if that's bright enough for you all. Yeah, I think it is. You can't see everything is what it is. Hang on one second. Well, this up here. Yeah, I hope you guys have been doing good. I'm just a little tired. I just got done cooking fried chicken, mashed potatoes, and gravy, and green beans. And so I'm stuffed right now. Got my work done, feeling good. Strength card, you have the power over your mind, not outside events. So realize this and you will find strength. Not just about physical might, but also the inner strength to face life's challenges, echoing Jung's advice on mastering one's mind. Yeah. Yeah, because, okay, such as the devil energy, you know, it is a wrestle of the mind most of the time, because there's all kinds of things that will, like even physical bodily things that will try to speak to you and say, no, this is actually what's good, when it's not. So you have to get control over the thoughts that are that could lead you into a trick or an illusion. Self-doubt, that's a trick. that's a fear. It's not real, but we can certainly make things real and have real effects on our life. So having the strength and the confidence here to overcome the power of the mind to shift into our shadow self. Death. What is not brought to consciousness comes to us as fate. What is not brought to consciousness comes to us as fate. I feel like with that statement, it's saying that you kind of always, you see how the light is up there at the path ahead? There's the light. It's because it's like when you're conscious and you're awake and you're aware, then you know when these big things are going to happen in life. The death, the endings, the transformations, the things that are going to occur. It's synchronistic. It's set up most of the time by, when you align with your higher self, then your higher self, future self will contact you via the quantum realm, send you signs, signals, and messages, letting you know that you're on the right path and you're aligned with your higher self. And so the death energy is something not to fear of. We should know what to expect. And especially when it comes to, if you're talking about the physical body, your consciousness lives on. So it's going to seem like, oh no, well, this just happened. But this is to be expected. And in fact, when you're conscious, awake, and aware, you kind of get, I feel like, through signs and talking with the universe about what's ahead on the path. Especially with the big things. How many people have had dreams before somebody they loved has passed away? Or, how many people have known when they were supposed to be facing a shadow aspect of themselves, which we can just sum up as a part of us that we don't want to admit is really a part of who we are. Because if we do, we may have to, or have a feeling like, I want to integrate this by changing it. Or directing the energy behind it into something that's more positive and that won't sabotage, self-sabotage. It won't do that to you if you channel the energy. The energy doesn't really disappear though. So the energy that you put into your shadow self, when you integrate it, you're accepting the energy, you're transmuting it. It's like applying a purpose or a skill to a really good positive aspect in your life. That energy behind it could be channeled into that's not such a great way to use it. So anyway, I'm trying to explain the shadow. The shadow is not an easy thing to explain because we get hung up on the exact thing or the exact something that's related to it instead of at the root what it kind of means. The high priestess is it says the most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely. Yeah, I mean, because we have to see ourselves for everyone that we are, that we wish to be, and everything that we are that we do not like seeing. And normally you can find the things that you don't like seeing in yourself by how you may possibly be judging others in society. And if you find yourself, don't look at yourself and say, oh gosh, I shouldn't be thinking that. Think, why am I doing that? Or why am I wanting to judge another person? If I'm wanting to judge somebody else, without scolding yourself, you're supposed to analyze it and figure out what is it pointing to about yourself that you don't accept. And so that type of work requires deep introspection. It requires reflection. How many of you went to school and when your mom or dad said, I want you to go back over your homework, didn't? Because you were like me. And you're like, I already know I did good. And, then maybe sometimes surprised when you didn't do so good, but knew you were told you should go back over it. And that's what Spirit is saying here with this, is there's something that you should go back over and reflect on it and figure out what it's about. Then let's use the energy and channel it into something more positive for you. Gifts, abilities are definitely coming online. Sorry if I'm long-winded tonight. I feel like I got into extreme flow state today with doing private readings like back to back to back. So I got into a really good flow state. So this is the courage to face a death energy. Transformations, letting go, endings. Big things, right? Transition. Some people think of passing through the bardo when they think of death. Weaver of emotions on the bottom. Weaving it like a tapestry, all of the emotions, experiences that you've gone through in life thus far. So this is a really great deck. There's the advice and what they're talking about. So yeah, you're weaving light. You're weaving emotions too. Here. Weaving light and weaver of emotions. You skillfully weave emotions into wisdom, compassion, and understanding. Your presence heals simply by being. Trust the sacred tapestry that you are creating. Okay, and weaving light. You are weaving together lessons, memories, and insights. Each thread matters. Trust the beauty emerging from your experiences. Master of oneness. You rule from a place of deep unity. self, soul, and cosmos aligned. Lead your life from this centered wholeness. And look at the arms out. Both of them. Okay. Did I read that one? High Priestess represents intuition, mystery, and the understanding of one's inner depths, paralyzing Jung's call for self-acceptance and exploration of the subconscious. Why do I do that? What's behind that? Would it, if I reacted instead of responded, why? What was that about? What's running in the background? What is there something I'm fearing that of why I would have to act in a way that's not for my highest good? You see what I'm saying? Oh, flow state. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was thinking I was getting into today. You're entering a state of flow. Action will feel effortless and aligned. This is your soul moving through without resistance. Trust the flow. Arms out like that. I have another deck that's like, I think it says it's the universe card, and it's opening up to getting ready to receive more from the universe. This is your Queen of Cups energy here. It's open intuition, open for giving and receiving love. But remember, Source God Creator doesn't really need you to give it any kind of energy. It's constant and an absolute source, never-ending, infinite love, that it's energy that's always yours. That's what you're opening up to, and it just flows through you. That's how you could give back, is to, if you wanted to give back something to Source God Creator, they're saying, because people have a notion of, if I do this, then I please God, right? But they're saying it's more about if understanding that energy from your Source God Creator is infinite and it's never ending, right? So it's yours always. It doesn't ask for anything of you. It doesn't need you to be any certain way. You are you, and you're always loved and accepted, and that's a love that you really want to understand, so you probably go to the other side unless you've reached nirvana here and put an end to cycles of suffering. And if you have, congratulations. But most of us haven't. So if you want to please, quote, your God, your Creator, then it would be to give His energy or source energy. I don't think it's probably male or female. So source energy, God, Creator, to our other divine children. So me, you, each other, in a comment, in a like, in a smile, in the time that you decide, I'm not going to say that not so nice thing, because you're really thinking about, if that were me, how would feel? Like, you're really thinking that way. That's showing love to the Creator. That's pleasing and giving back, is when you show love to the things that He cares the most about. I keep saying He, but you know what I mean. Anyway, emotional sanctuary. You are craving emotional safety and peace. It is time to withdraw briefly and rebuild your inner sanctuary. Give yourself permission to rest and heal. Breakthrough. You have broken through old limits and emerged transformed. Celebrate your strength. You are standing in a new field of possibility. So that's beautiful. All of that. It looks like a lot of it looks like a lot. It seems like a lot. That's not easy work, but it is so necessary if you're looking for a calm, peaceful life for yourself. Yeah, you can figure out all that stuff. And I am going to say this, okay? I feel like with a lot of people going through awakenings, they will get to a point where they've been enlightened, they're awakened, they want to know who they are and seek more simple, I would say, yeah, simple life. Maybe even go kind of quite minimum. Hermit sometimes themselves on purpose. After maybe a forced hermit journey. And we could feel like we're not having concern for things anymore, or that we don't, like, what's wrong with me? I'm not enjoying everything I used to, or I'm not valuing anything. Like, I don't feel like I care about relationships, and I only really am just exploring this love thing, But what it is that's happening is, it's not that you're not caring as much, or that you just have no interest in anything anymore. It's that for a long time, people have been identifying with the material things, the things here, the body, the ego, the self, everything that you're not, because you are the part of the divine source creator. So you are infinite. Your energy is always infinite, and it never dies. So what does it actually have in common with this body or this rock? Not really anything. Even if I'm looking at another person, sure, there's a soul there, and there's probably an interesting story. You may be interested in loving in that, but it's just like the body again. Like all of these are just, it's like you realize that they're just outfits in your soul's wardrobe. This is the outfit that you decided to wear for, maybe it feels like a couple weeks, but it may be 80 years here, a couple weeks from where we're actually from, but we feel like it's a whole lifetime. That's part of this huge experience, right? There's an illusion that happens here with time. So when you get in connection with divine source creator, you're awakened to who you really are. That connection is solid. You're not going to feel like you resonate heavily or care too much about anything physical. You may get a lot more into caring about different things, because that stage is a stage, and it evolves. People could feel like it's motivating. I don't know how I want to say that, motivation, or I don't know if let me know. But I don't think it's that, and I think that the you that's connected to divine light, you that always creates infinite things, that your real source energy never dies, your experience never goes away, fades, like this stuff here. So I guess I'm saying it's all relative. Okay, I have the third eye. The Merkaba definitely means you're a multidimensional person, able to travel in your Merkaba, which is this energy force that's around you. When it's aligned in this certain way in your consciousness, then you can travel anywhere you want to go. And yeah, you could do this through meditation. Through your third eye, you can access your Merkaba, of course. I guess that's what they're saying. This might be something that you're interested in. So and that's the pineal gland too, by the way. Alpha Draconians. Wow, he's dressed like the Pope, and it's a reptile. Corrupt, unethical, and cults. Yeah, well, I mean, we could be dealing with an energy like that, right? Oh, I like the Sirens. I always feel very connected to Sirens. Just from my Leo self. 21 Talsentians, resilient, bold, and sassy. This energy or archetype would be standing up to oppressive rule. Those people are ruling. They're talking about the ones that have the power, that have been ruling, and they have advantages. Like they have some sort of mind manipulation where they're able, from what I know, this is what I know about these alpha draconians, is that they're able to manipulate how a person is thinking. Like, they can get you to accept something by getting into your mind. I don't know if they're supposed to do that or if they have some kind of rules amongst each other, but I know that it keeps them in power and able to control groups of people consciousness to get into it. But it's still a form of manipulation. That very well could be the type of manipulation where they have to tell you about it, so it's in your face that it's not good, but you still accept it and support them. But know that it's not just that they have to tell you. They're also using like some kind of extra telepathic type of thing to get their way. There's no way they would have been, there's so little of them and they managed to stay in power. That's what I know about them. Okay. And of course, you could just take this for the archetype, that it could represent that type of person. Yeah, they're the type of people that, these are the type of people that are 20 years old. Just an example, a 20-year-old that drops out of college, of tech college, but ends up like making some kind of proposal to a company, and that they somehow got invested in, and now somehow they're a billionaire real quick. Like, that to me is probably using some kind of weird energy to just even be able to do, I don't know, to be able to do that. Things that seem like crazy too good to be true, they probably are true. Like, they're probably, the person really did make it quite lucky from the get-go, but it was planned, like it was planned on for that to happen. I feel like it's okay, so that's that. If I don't know much about sentience, it says resilient, bold, sassy. I know the Sirens. The story is that the Sirens, am I getting close? I'm not talking too much tonight. Sorry. The Sirens here is the group that had an invasion from what we call the reptilians, right? A lot of people thought that these were like Satan's seed, you know what I mean? And but anyway, so like, they don't have the same like emotions as humans and other species. They're different. They're not necessarily all bad, but they're different. The type of divinity that might be in them is going to be different. Anyway, these people, the Sirens, these lion, feline type people, I think it came from avian or somewhere like that. They were invaded. They were tricked by them to basically like help them out. They helped them out and everything, got them all set up and living in a very beautiful, like, merging technology with nature. They could just create stuff like through their spirituality, manifest beautiful things. And they like blew it all up after they received some kind of help. The reptilian group did. And so that is like supposedly where it stemmed. It goes a lot deeper than that, but that's supposedly where it stemmed from. And they say some star seeds that have Lyran in them, and they would be people that want to be a divine warrior for preserving our spirituality. It still can have technology, but not letting it take over everything. That's like the Lyran philosophy. So, and not used for means of control and harm. Like, it'd be for the greater good with the Lyrans. So I have expansion here. So definitely expansion, things getting bigger. They have to be careful during these times because this is times of change. And like Carl Jung, on the Carl Jung bandwagon, he said that the brighter your light, the darker your shadow. So that's exactly true. And it will be true in a big, with the astronomical point of view. you know, is that in a broad sense, yes, the darker is going to get even darker. They're going to do even darker things because so much has been revealed and seen that really they tried to conceal. So, and what's interesting, I just want to make a little prediction here. I think that since we're having our the expansion, I think might also have something to do with passing this message along. We have an eclipse in August 2027 that's going to be the first one of its kind in a century. So we're talking 100 years. And it just seems to me to be interesting that it's in that realm of this could be when disclosure is going to happen for sure. Now, the effects of this, they say, is like a 3-year window where, okay, it could be like a year and a half before August 2027 or a year and a half after. So it has that space, but we're experiencing huge changes right now because of these huge events that have been happening. I think they said the last comet to pass is approximated at like, I don't know, 176,000 years ago was when they last orbited by the sun, or it's estimated, right? Estimated at least. But so I think that's when some of these things like disclosure and information about what they know is going to come out like full force by then. And plus, you might want to research that eclipse because it's going to be big, huge for us and for the world to expose things. To expose what's been hidden. And it could be like, what's been hidden for the last 100 years? Like, here's where your history's wrong. You know, this is something that really happened. This, whatever, you know. But I feel like we're going to find out stuff like that. Like how institutions and maybe some of these beings that they know, people have different, like, you know, genetics in them. Like that the government knows about all that stuff. Yeah. About what they've done. I think it'd be interesting. I think it could cause some, I think it might cause some wiling out because there will be something revealed about, like, okay, why are these things here? Why have they been intervening and why are we seeing more? We're having evidence, we're talking about it more. And I think it's because something's going to come out with the way that we've been controlled and manipulated, almost like a prison planet, if you could say that minds have been invaded, privacy's been invaded, rights have been squished, and used to a system now that is not the free divine self, not the divine you, that like what you really deserve. So something's coming out with that, and it's going to be really interesting. Since we go through a veil of forgetfulness, it would be nice to have something come in and be able to open us up to why they're here, why they're trying to help, and what has been going on for such a long time. Tell us. We want to know. Where's an unbalance? Now, I like the stratosphere because it literally means in perfect harmony or union. And it is about people working together, good for certainty and protection, security, things like that. So the stratosphere provides some sort of protection. And so that to me is a very positive sign of balance and good relations and harmony between different beings, maybe. Infinity is infinite possibilities. I've talked about you being the infinite, eternal, divine soul. And so you would be that. And also, there's another deck that has a infinity sign like that. I think it's called Conjunction. And it's talking about like the completion because it's the very last card. The Conjunction, love, divine union, infinity. During this stage, we witness the miraculous work of two opposites merging to create a unique third form. Conscious and benevolent union, one that springs forth from awareness, acceptance, and devotion. It is not a compromise, but rather an activation. One of the blessings of human nature. Through the opposites arises the infinite. So it says, be prepared for the heart to have a lot of surprises. And magnetic field. Magnetic field. So, I mean, really, you could just say it's saying that we are attracting this into our lives, or we are feeling pulled. It can also be about a certain energy. It might have to be talking. It may be talking about the people that are wanting to, like, if we're talking about disclosure, people disclosing anti-gravity technology and something that works with the force of the magnetic field for propulsion. Something like that too. So that's what I'm getting. This is a rather long message. Sorry, it's a little long-winded tonight, but that's what I've got for you. Sending you love and light. Thank you again for helping out with private readings, and I will see you next time. Bye.